now, the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
And good morning, good afternoon, and good day, everybody. Welcome. It is Saturday, November, I think, 23rd, if my calendar is correct in my head. Another live edition. This is the pre-Thanksgiving episode of Aaron's Hour, coming to you from Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's right. As the shirt says, Virginia's for lovers. Could be if you love retirement, if you love yourself, or just love the sun and surf. It doesn't matter. Virginia is where we are at. John is back there in Las Vegas. We'll pop him on in a second to say hello to everybody. Thank you for watching. Listen, I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I also put a question out on Facebook on both the show page, which if you're watching it there, you see it, I hope, on my personal page. I want to know from all of you out there exactly what is one odd tradition that your family has for Thanksgiving. Now, perhaps you may not think it's odd, but maybe it's a different type of dish on the table. Maybe it's, I already got one response, which I'll share in a little bit, about what is done after all the meals besides taking a nap from all the tryptophan. What is it that you and your family do? Put it in the chat room. Whether you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, John can grab it. Of course, thank you for watching. And if you did miss the show live today, that's okay. I got you covered. Because all you got to do is go back to the videos tab on both either WWDBTV Las Vegas Facebook or the show Facebook page. YouTube, the same thing. Just pull up the video, watch it, have some fun, have some laughs. I got some topics from both Vegas, Virginia Beach, some oddball stuff, and one huge complaint that I teased yesterday on Kiwanis Connects. And of course, in a couple of days, just go to Roku, the broadcast streaming service, download the WWDBTV channel, and you'll be able to watch the plethora of shows that are available right there on the network. So we got a lot to talk about. I want you to put chats in the room. I'm again in my home studio in Virginia Beach. John is not physically in the actual studio today. He is studioing this from his home studio as well. So no phone calls today. Just put everything into the chat room and we'll communicate that way. Great week. I want to know what your plans are traveling. I got family coming in. I got a buddy of mine from Vegas out there, my buddy Rafi. He sometimes pops into the show. He's flying out here to join us. I'm going to probably have about 20, 25 people out here. My daughters are coming, family, friends. My in-laws are all coming. Not everybody can make it. That's okay. Next time, we'll plan even better. So we're going to be excited about having everybody here. Be careful. Leave yourself plenty of time to travel, especially if you're going to go to the airports. One of the stories I have here amongst all my papers is some tips from TSA if you're going to be traveling with food. You know, if you're going to take that care bag package, if you're making a dish and you're going to a family's house, should I pack it underneath? Is it something I can take in my carry-on? We're going to go through that as well. I've got stories from Vegas. I've got winnings out there, winnings from Michigan. People won there. I got some places you can get some free turkeys this weekend. A lot of stuff going on all over the place. But as usual, before we get into a whole lot of stuff, it is time for some winnings, which means it is time for Vegas and Rap 2.0.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
And a nod up there to Vegas Unwrapped 2.0 to our buddy Ricky Cash. Love you, buddy. Miss you. All right, so let's get started with some winnings. First, I'm going to kind of throw a little curveball out at you. We're going to start with a winning story from the state of Michigan. I shared this yesterday. See if John remembers. What do you call somebody who lives in Michigan? We call them a Michigana. Michigana, that's right. There he is. John is popping in. I didn't even get a chance to bring him in. We'll bring him in at the start of the next segment after break because I want to ask him about Formula One, which the race is today. They did qualifying last night, and I want to get his comments on some of the many stories I'm going to cover today. But anyway, a 36-year-old took a roundabout approach to finding out if his Michigan lottery ticket actually was a big winner. This man bought a ticket at a BP convenience store in Farmington Hills, and I bet my friend Scott Hosey knows where that is. Scratched off the barcode, scanned it, is what he told Michigan lottery officials. He got a message, he said, quote, to file a claim at the lottery office. So he finished scratching it off when he got home. when he scratched the remainder of his $50 ticket. That's a pretty expensive ticket, but well worth the investment. Why? $50 was turned into $6 million. That's right, $6 million. The winner will take home his prize in a $4.1 million lump sum. He plans to put his winnings towards buying a home and starting a business. This gentleman won the top prize of the $300 million extraordinaire game, official said. Two more $6 million prizes remain. So there are still two more winners out there that need to be collecting their money. If not, I know a couple of people here on the show right now, John and I, we can use that if it doesn't get claimed. All right, let's go to California. Well, actually, Vegas, someone from California. California resident, a little extra cash in their pocket because the guest hit a whopping $544,000 jackpot after playing a Wheel of Fortune slot machine at the Fremont Hotel and Casino just back on the 16th, right after we went off the air. Now, for those who don't know, the Fremont Hotel is down on Fremont Street, older part of Vegas, actually the original strip, if you will, of casinos. Casino officials say the winner, who wanted to remain anonymous, wagered $1.25. I'm going to let that sink in. What would John, what would you be able to buy with $1.25 if you went into a convenience store or something? Right, $1.25. What could you buy for that?
Nothing.
Well,
yeah. I mean, hey, look, yeah. A candy bar is like $1.69 or something like that for a 5-cent candy bar. You know,
you can't even go into the 99-cent store anymore because they're $1.99.
No, $1.25. Yeah, it's a $1.25 store now. So
this for $1.25. One of the lucky spins landed the guests 3 matching symbols, hitting the jackpot. Officials add the winning comes from a more than $891,000 jackpot that the Fremont's sister downtown property, the California, hit back in August. So August, they gave away $900,000. The California Fremont Hotel gave away $500,000. So that's not bad. How about this one? Local man recently struck it rich this past Thursday, 2 days ago. Man was gambling at Palace Station. Palace Station is on the corner of Sahara, right there at Route 15, for those who don't know. Palace Station actually just went through a huge renovation a couple of years ago. They really did a nice job updating it. New restaurants, theaters, really making it more modern with some of the local properties around. But anyway, go ahead, John. Yeah.
I have some trivia about the Palace Station.
Hit it. Let's do it.
When they first opened, which was about 163 years ago, it was actually called the Bingo Palace.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
When they first opened, it was called the Bingo Palace, and then it became the Palace Station when station casinos all got together. So
right on. All right, that's good. Well, Bingo is actually pretty popular, not only just in Vegas, but of course, Palace Station is one of the bigger bingo parlors in Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So it's a good place. And the movies, and they, like I said, they renovated not too long ago.
They have done a nice job.
They really have. They really did. Well, this person was on Pi Gap Progressive Jackpot. This person hit with a 7-card straight flush, walking away with $441,000. In addition to the jackpot, the guest, also won an extra $5,000 on a $5 bet on the fortune bonus. Officials with Palace Stations added that other players who had placed at least $5 on the fortune bonus also were rewarded about $500. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's for darn sure. All right. And the last one, again, when I share these stories the stories, when it says how much a gambler will have spent at the moment that the jackpot hits, man, that's a conservative number. Because let's face it, folks, maybe at that moment, that individual bet $1.25. The next amount in this next story will probably have you fall off your seats. But realistically, if these people are coming to Vegas on any regular basis, I don't care if it's once a month, once a quarter, once a year for 20 years, or they come once a week, it doesn't matter. They really need to think about how much they've spent over the course of their history in coming to Vegas before hitting a jackpot. Think about that. You know, it's like when I used to sell timeshare in Vegas, and I know John can appreciate this comment. I used to sit down with people and they would say, "Oh, I'm here in Vegas for free. I don't need." Really, you're staying at the MGM or name a hotel for free? Oh, they comp my room. And I say, really? They comp your room? I said, why do they do that? Well, because I gamble so much. And I would say to them, so what you're really saying is you are prepaying for that vacation by way of a blackjack table, craps table, or slot machines. Well, by the time somebody wins a jackpot, if they come to Vegas on a regular basis, it's sort of the same thing. So with that, let me share this. A woman had a great 60th birthday recently. She's now $20,250 richer. The woman sat at a rake and bacon slot machine at the Binion's Gambling Hall on November 13th. She bet a whopping 88 cents. Probably a penny machine, probably a penny machine. She bet 88 cents, hit spin, and watches the symbols flash across the screen like we all do, right? We all kind of sit there mesmerized, right? She landed the bonus and hit the grand jackpot. Talk about icing on the cake. Another gambler got lucky at the same casino not too long ago. There, the player bet only $1.60 on the luxury line slot machine and won over $11,000. Binions downtown, as always. All right, last item regarding specific for Vegas before we go to our first break. As we know, Thanksgiving is next week. Unfortunately, it tends to get more and more expensive to try to put dinners together, meals together with all the fixings and everything for traditional Thanksgiving for a lot of families out there for many, many reasons. And, you know, this time of year, we know why. There's, you know, what's the word I want to use, accentuated, homelessness or stress or families are part of whatever, but it does get costly. You know, turkeys, what they pay per pound and everything else. Anyway, so here are some locations there in Vegas where if you want a free Thanksgiving turkey. Now, again, it's only 8 o'clock your time now. A lot of these will start happening today and through the next couple of days. So here you go. The city of North Las Vegas, along with Cox Communications, is giving away free turkeys to 400 families later today, right now, starting at 8 a.m. your time out there until all 400 turkeys are distributed. It's taking place at the North Las Vegas City's Hall Liberty Park at 2250 Las Vegas Boulevard North near Civic Center Drive. Families will also receive free bread from Bimbo Bakeries. Commissioner Justin Jones, Clark County Commissioner Jones, and community partners are giving away free turkeys and sides on Monday, the 25th, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Lead Memorial Boys and Girls Club at 2850 South Lindell Road. The lineup begins at the corner of Edna and South Lindell. First come, first serve, and there is a limit of 1 turkey per vehicle. Nevada Homes for Youth invites you to their turkey drive also on today, 11 a.m. Pacific time to 2 p.m. at 525 South 13th Street in Las Vegas. Free turkeys, again, 1 per household, will be available while supplies last. There you can call 702-380-2889 for more information. A couple of more, and then we're going to go to break. The 100 Black Men of Las Vegas and Friends will distribute free Thanksgiving dinners to seniors, veterans, and families in need on Wednesday, the 27th, from 11 a.m. Pacific time to 1 p.m. Pacific time at Nevada Partners, 690 West Lake Mead Boulevard in Las Vegas. For more information, send an email to info@100bmlv.org. Paul Powell's annual Thanksgiving Turkey giveaway is this Saturday. The event will take place at the Heinrich YMCA at 4141 Meadows Lane. The event takes place from noon, your time Pacific, to 2 p.m. or until supplies last. Partners in the giveaway include the Just One Project and 2 Cat Coffee. I know the folks at Just One Project. Last but not least, the NAACP Thanksgiving baskets. The Las Vegas and the NAACP Las Vegas and the House Church are offering Thanksgiving baskets with turkey and all the fixings. In order to be eligible for the basket, though, you must email thehouse2301@yahoo.com and include your name, contact information, and a brief note on why you should be considered. Seniors and families in need take priority. Recipients will be contacted with a pickup time and voucher details. Distribution is limited to only available turkeys that they have. So those of you out there in Vegas, If you are in need of a turkey, you have some options there. If you're watching this here on the East Coast with me and you know folks out there, by all means, please share this feed with them and the information. Hello, Miss Pamela, owner of Sweet Peas Bakehouse. We're about to run your commercial, so don't go anywhere there, Pamela. So if you know anybody out there in the Vegas area and you're out here watching, notify those folks out there to get that information. All right, with that, we're going to step aside for our first break. Today's show brought to you by Sweet Peas Bakehouse, Miss Pamela Richard, and Novelty Sports Art, Mr. Rod Patrick. Those folks are very proud to have them part of our family. Don't go anywhere. More stuff to come, including my rant about fanatics.com. On the other side, we'll be right back.
Switching to a vegan dessert doesn't mean sacrificing flavor or texture. At Sweet Peas Bakehouse, our pastries are designed to be just as delightful as their traditional counterparts. Sweet Peas Bakehouse features rich flavors and satisfying textures that will please any palate. From decadent brownies to light and fluffy cakes, each bite is a celebration of natural sweetness free from artificial additives. Indulgent treats that not only taste great, but also nourish the body by visiting www.sweetpeaswithazbakehouse.com. Experience the difference that nature-inspired baking can make at Sweet Peas Bakehouse. Call 804-214-7773 today and taste the goodness.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaon Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
All right, welcome back. John, is there a reason why we didn't run Novelty Sports?
Yes, I was saving that for the second half.
They both get 2, though.
Well, stand by. I'll run it right now.
Novelty Sports, thank you.
Hello, I'm Rick Upchurch, former Denver Bronco Ring of Famer. In life, there are rivalries, and then there are football rivalries. Broncos Raiders, Packers Vikings, Washington Dallas. But what happens when those sports rivalries invade a household? You know the scenario. Grandma loves Ohio State, but Grandpa loves Michigan. Novelty Sports Art has the type of artwork that simply adds fuel to the fire. The drip helmets depicted those hated rivalries with a splash of humor and color. These original artwork prints can be hung in the man cave, she shed, or the centerpiece at the next family reunion. Visit www.noveltysportsart.com and order from our listed inventory. You can also call 804-505-5669 for ordering details. A great sports rivalry should be honored as a novelty.
All right, welcome back. Don't you love live programming? Aaron Phillips here. Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, Coast to Coast. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hey, I'm posing a question to everybody out there. Tell me one tradition that you and your family have around Thanksgiving that maybe some people would look at and think it's odd or unique. I did get one response already on the post from our good friend Val, co-host and dear friend from Kiwanis Connect. She writes, when all the cousins get together for big family reunion style Thanksgiving, we go to the movies after cleanup, naps, and walks. So going to the movies, that's interesting. John, my friend, you want to chime in with a little comment on something, sir?
Yeah, well, Thanksgiving's coming up, and I just wanted to share an experience that I had in the local supermarket. I was going to get the turkey for Thanksgiving here.
Right.
And I'm not going to name the supermarket because I don't want the employee to get fired.
Could it be something like Prince Somethingsons?
Anyway, this woman standing there at the, and you know how the turkeys are. There are a whole bunch of turkeys in the freezer section there. And she's going through them and, you know, looking at every single one of them. And one of the employees comes over and, you know, from the meat department says, "Can I help you, ma'am?" And she says, "Yeah, do these turkeys get any bigger?" And he says, "No, ma'am, they're dead."
Here's your sign. Oh my gosh. Wow. You know, it's so funny. You know, you watch comedians and they write material, but there are the great comedians out there who just watch life.
Yes.
And you hear them share a story like that, and they say, "Folks, I couldn't have written anything funnier than that." You know, this anyway. Wow. Shout out to Pamela. She is actually out at the Virginia Beach Farmers Market this morning. I know I spoke to her yesterday.
Is she buying ingredients for some of her baked goods?
Let me tell you, I love this woman. She's tremendous. She is so passionate about what she does. I spoke with her on the phone yesterday, and as we were talking, because I ordered stuff for the holidays for family,
right?
So I placed an order, but she's been so busy cooking that she worked so hard this whole week. She took a half a day off for herself yesterday. She's working the farmer's market today. Usually she does both days, but she's only working it today. So she's been buying, and I've been assured that after the first of the year, folks like you, John, and everybody around the world who wants to order her product will be able to order stuff via shipping. Of course, not everything is going to be able to ship like a cake. You're not shipping a cake, but brownies, cookies, and muffins.
I was about to ask because I'm dying to try some of the brownies.
So maybe what I'll do is if I can connect with her, because with Rafi coming out here, I can maybe get some brownies, not brownies or some of the muffins, and I can send him back with some for him and for you. And
yeah, you know he'll eat the suckers before he.
Well, he might. He might. But if I send him back with enough of a supply, then maybe a couple will last. So let me work on that. Maybe I'll do that. So Pamela, I may need an order next week.
Okay, if he makes it here with the product, okay, I'll have him in the studio and we'll film us eating them for her.
Perfect. We'll do a live
and we will give our honest opinion.
You know what? That's great. I love it. Let's do that. All right. So Pamela, I'm going to need muffins and stuff next week. Anyway.
Brownies.
All right, let's get to it. Before I get back to stories, I got to share this.
Are they Alice B. Tokless brownies?
No, they're Pamela Richards.
Okay.
Sweet Peas Bakehouse handmade cookies
I'm
and
sorry,
brownies.
that reference was too old for you.
Obviously. I'm glad to know somebody else is dating themselves for a change. I get tired of saying stuff and these kids. What? Okay, so since we're on food. Oh, there, she loves it. All right, see, she knows she's getting. There you go. She loves the idea of the testimonial.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, let's talk about TSA. Then I'll get to the story about fanatics because we're talking about food. I might as well. So, people are boarding planes, right? Tens of millions of people are boarding planes, flying all over the country. The goal is to get through TSA, right? Now, we know there's certain things in food you can't take through TSA, like liquids, right, John?
Right.
If you're going to buy a bottle of water or something, you better drink it all before you get to TSA because you're not bringing it on. So, TSA shares the following information. They are saying to you that, and this is a great segue, because people are traveling with baked goods, cakes, pies, cookies, brownies, again, whether they're homemade or store-bought, you can bring those in, but you're allowed to bring that through a checkpoint. So if I send that stuff back with Rafi, he scans it through TSA, not a problem. Why? Because it's a solid. So what defines a solid? This is like your story about the frozen turkey, right? So TSA says, how do you know if it's a solid? Well, if you can spill it, spread it, pump it, or pour it, it's not solid. So you can't define it any better.
Go through that list again one more time.
So there's 4 criteria. If you can A, spill it, if you can pump it, if you can pour it, if you can spread it, it's not a solid and cannot go through TSA.
So peanut butter is a liquid.
Theoretically, yeah. Because you can spread it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to the TSA.
Right? So sealed. Right.
There's no hope for us, Aaron.
Here you go. But the list continues. So Again, confusing? Why shouldn't it be gray? Sealed liquids, sauces, and other spreadable items must go into. So I guess you can't put. We're talking about stuff that goes in through TSA carry-on.
Right.
But peanut butter, if it's a sealed jar, okay? So let me say this again. Sealed liquids, sauces, and other spreadable items must go into checked bags.
Okay.
So if you need a jar of peanut butter, you're taking it with you. Yeah, you can put that into checked bag. Any canned vegetables with liquid inside, wines, ciders, and syrups cannot go through security checkpoint. If you do try to bring something like this through security, they will have to check your bag, something you will want to avoid in the midst of the holiday travel season.
Okay, so no canned corn, no canned yams, no canned cranberries.
Anything that says Del Monte on it, don't take it, because they're always packed in water.
No
TSA estimates 18.3 million people will go through their checkpoints nationwide between November. 18.3 million, which sounds kind of low to me, but between November 26th and December 2nd, okay? If you are not sure if your food item, you're not sure if the food item you want to bring is good to take on the plane, the TSA has multiple ways for you to ask. Their MyTSA, MYTSA app has a "What can I bring" feature. Travelers can also ask them directly on X or Facebook at Ask TSA. It is also possible to send a question by texting travel to Ask TSA 275872. So, or I'm sorry, travel to Ask TSA. So there you have it. All right. I can't make this stuff up. I swear to you. All right, let's talk about Fanatics.com. Fanatics is a big ass company that specializes. Fanatics, the word fan comes from that. If you're a fan of something, you're fanatical of something. I love Fanatics. I buy a lot of my sports stuff, you know, my baseball, Yankees.
Wait, is it called that because all of that fan stuff you put up in the attic?
What would the attic have to do with fan stuff?
Fanatics.
No.
Okay. Just asking.
No. The guys in the white jackets are on the way over for you.
No. It's just, you know, your wife makes you keep them in the attic.
Well, that's true. It's only because you know what? Let me ask you a question. If I took my cell phone and linked into the link you send me to LinkedIn, could I still use that as like a roving camera to show my office one morning?
Yeah.
And as long as the volume is turned down. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Because in this way I can also show the pieces that I bought from Novelty Sports Art that are hanging on my wall too.
Okay.
But because people will understand, I literally wall space. I just shadow boxed. I have, you saw it, Rick Upchurch jersey that I've autographed. I brought it to the studio.
Right.
All these years I've had it. Finally, I got it in a shadow box. So Eileen framed it for me. I have one piece of wall left in this room that I can put it up, and it's behind my big screen TV that I have on a stand in the corner. What I have to do to get to it with all my collectibles and stuff in front of it. Anyway, I need a warehouse. Eileen is right. I need a warehouse. Anyway, so just about every sports organization, whether it's major or college level, use a Fanatics-based platform for their product. So you can go to Fanatics.com and you get everybody. But if I go to WWE Shop or WWE.com/shop, all of their merchandise is through Fanatics. If I go to MLB.com, it's a Fanatics-based website. NFL, Old Dominion, Penn State, all of them. So why do I share this? I'm going to take my background down for a second because I want people to see this. Let me just kill that, and we're going to go no background. Okay, so if everybody sees my Giants belt right here, okay, that's available on the WWE Shop network through Fanatics. So I purchased it back in January while I was still in Vegas. It's dark. It's about 7 p.m. UPS comes knocking on my door. Now, when these things come boxed, the belt is probably about 3.5, maybe 4 feet long, and it's packed in a long rectangular box. So the guy comes to my door and he says, Mr. Phillips, he says, this box seems awfully light. Please check it before I leave and make sure. Now, a belt is heavy. You're talking about 10 to 15, maybe not 20 pounds, but it's got some weight. Okay. Slice open the box. The box is empty. So the belt was obviously stolen out of the box somewhere in transit before the UPS guy brought it to my house. So we both confirmed it. I took a picture of the box. Inside the box, he told me to refuse delivery because of that. He notified his folks that the box was delivered empty. I immediately notified WWDBTV.com for shop, the Fanatics, sent them pictures of the empty box. They apologized. They said we can do one of two things. Either we can refund you for it, or if you'd like, we'll replace the belt. Well, of course, obviously, I replaced the belt. Never thought anything about it afterwards. I sent them, so I thought everything was copacetic. Well, over the last 4 months, I'm trying to buy stuff. As soon as I hit order, I get an immediate email that says your order's been canceled. Order's canceled? I didn't cancel it. I mean, so I went through this for months. Couldn't get through for almost 4 weeks recently. This is all within the last 30 days. I'm trying to call the number that they tell you to call, John, and I get the busy signal every time. So I asked my wife, do me a favor.
That should tell you something right there.
Right? So, yeah. I filed a report with the Better Business Bureau this past week because of the inability to get through to anybody for a month. When I'm chatting with people in the customer service department, they allegedly don't have the power to tell me exactly what the problem is, but there is an issue, but you can't tell me. I got a call. Well, I said, well, have them call me because I can't get through. Now, I may have gotten calls from them, but I also have RoboKiller on my phone, which kills these scams. So they may have been trying. So I filed the claim. Then I found the name of the owner of the company, and the individual's on LinkedIn. And so I sent a message to the owner of the company. Haven't heard back about I haven't heard back from him. All right. So last week I asked my wife, I said, just for shits and giggles, I want you to place this order for me. And then if there's a problem, I want you to go through the steps. So sure enough, we placed an order for Tidewater Community College, which, by the way, is a new sponsor starting next month. So I was getting a little swag, right? And it bounced, even with her ordering it, it bounced back and got canceled. So she called and went through all the gyrations. So I end up ordering stuff as Aaron and the other guy, if you know what I mean. So, but the address and everything's the same. Payment's the same. All right. So they ask Eileen, who's Aaron, who's this, who's that, is this? They confirm everything. Well, apparently I was sent an email back in July, which I don't recall getting, but of course I managed 9 emails and it probably went to spam or it came up as Fanatics, and like all the other solicitation emails I get, I probably just blitzed right by it. Apparently this letter dictated or detailed the issue and my right to discuss with them the happenings. Okay? Here's why I'm putting them on blast. Why did it take 6 months for you to even raise a red flag about that order? As soon as the customer service rep, when Eileen dialed it, went right through, which makes me think because they blocked my account, there's a problem with them taking my phone call then, right? That's what I'm thinking, because Eileen called the first time, boom, went in, not an issue. We get the person on the phone and the person starts detailing, well, back in January, you had a delivery of a Giants legacy belt. And I just started going off on the guy. Now, it's been 5 days. This individual said that he has to go to his upper management to have them resend that email to me. Well, I'm waiting 5 days and I still don't have the email to know what the issue is and how I can address it. When Fanatics really first started coming on board, and I think, John, this was even before you and I connected. I was living on Loggerhead Road in Vegas, behind the Applebee's, Albertsons on Cheyenne and Durango, where I used to live, just on the other side. I had Fanatics as a customer, as an advertiser on very early versions of Aaron's Hour. They were a client of mine. So I've been with them 15 years as a customer, paying and buying for all the different colleges that I'm associated with, my kids, everything. And I wanted to buy a legacy belt. Those things are not cheap. I'm still waiting for the email. I was never able to get through on the telephone. I can't get clarification. And basically, Fanatics, your customer service sucks. Plain and simple. Now, I'm one of probably millions of people who buy through their stuff, and people are buying stuff through their website probably without even realizing it. Because of, like I said, if I were to go on to Old Dominion University to buy swag, guess what? It's a Fanatics website. You can see their logo on top, even though it's all Old Dominion, or even Tidewater Community College. I had to have my daughter order me stuff just to test if there was a problem. She had no problem. Ordered my stuff, and she's getting it and bringing it to me. But Fanatics, I can't get through to solve the problem. I want to spend my money with you. Are you hearing me, Fanatics? Half of my room is filled with products that came from your company one way or another. I want somebody to get in touch with me, get me that flipping email, something, so that I can respond. Because Fanatics, I have filed a claim with the Better Business Bureau. I'm going to update the claim about this letter that you guys supposedly sent me in July, dating back to an issue from January on a product that was stolen on its way to being delivered to me. And you froze my account? So Fanatics, I have a big issue with you. So folks, be leery. Make sure when you're ordering, you know where you're ordering from. That all these other companies use Fanatics as a cover, like a platform, like we would use WordPress or anything else, or almost as a third-party provider, like for merchandise, like I use for my shirts, my new store, the Voice QB store. You can get all the embroidered material shirts for all the shows for WWDBTV. That's a third-party provider. You're ordering direct from them. I'm not housing all that here. So Fanatics works that exact same way for all these other institutions, so they don't have to have a warehouse of inventory. Okay, John, you have a thought?
Yeah. So is there a difference in price? Let's say you went to Old Dominion, you ordered something from that site, and then you went to Fanatics and ordered the exact same item. Is the price the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Old Dominion Bookstore or Student Union Center is ordering the merchandise from who? Fanatics.
Right. No. I understand that, but I'm saying that I mean, that would be a way around it. I mean, you're still giving them the business, but if you go to the source and order from there instead of, Fanatics.
Well, the only thing it would do for me is if I went to the store, it would save me shipping. You know what I'm saying? If I went to the store to buy a hat or a shirt or something.
Oh, no. I meant online.
No, I know that. But online, okay. I have to pay for shipping.
So I understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but I'm saying you're not gonna go to the New York Giants main office if you wanted to get a New York Giants swag.
Correct.
So,
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I just thought I'd check. But look, Aaron, you and I both know there's no more customer service anymore.
Oh, hell
customer
no.
service doesn't mean crap. It's
I just can't figure out though. I think because they flagged my account somehow. That's why I'm having trouble phoning in, because Eileen called right away, the same phone numbers that I've been calling. The first time she dialed, she got through to somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking whenever they flag an account, they totally block you to where they don't even want you contacting them.
Well, maybe they just don't like you. They've seen your show and they thought, the hell with this guy. We don't want nothing to do with him.
Whether they like my show or not, my money's as green as the next guy, or I should say my money's as plastic as the next guy.
And they don't care. I mean, you're such small potatoes.
Right. No, I get that. I know that, and that's why it's almost like I'm swimming upstream as a guppy in the land of sharks. I get that.
You know what? That's a perfect example of why you should buy things from people like Sweet Peas or Novelty Sports or your local small business, because they care about you. They care about your business. The money that you're spending with them, helps to pay for their kids' education or shoes or gas or something like that. You're not paying for another yacht for somebody.
Correct.
So anyway, I'm a huge proponent of, buy from small businesses.
I'm so into that as well. There's a sports store not too far from me, about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from me. Your old typical sporting goods store. Think of Scott Hosey's old store in the mall if you'd ever been there.
Yeah.
But this guy, if you take Scott's store and blow it up maybe 10 times, not necessarily physically, but the amount of stuff this guy carries, it looks like that old school sporting goods store that you would walk into.
Right.
The problem is, where do you think he's getting his merchandise from? The Fanatics of the world. Yeah. So even though it's that old school feel, and these guys been in business for 20 years, it's not like he's a newbie here. And I've already gone in there and purchased a few items, but they're like, Fanatics is like the monopoly on sporting goods and sporting memorabilia and shirts and swag and everything, because you just can't get away from it. Even if I go into a local sports store, look, there's a brand out there, New Era, my Penn State hat that I had on earlier. This is a New Era brand. 940 is the specific brand inside. Who do you think is the major carrier for this? Fanatics.
Yeah.
Carries this brand. Right now, I could order from New Era, but it's probably going to cost me the same. There's really no advantage. So they have this position where, like you said, I know I'm small potatoes. I'm a nobody. If I don't buy another piece of sporting good of some kind, A, that would make Eileen happy. B, it's not like they're going to close up shop because Aaron stopped buying hats and T-shirts.
Right.
Okay, I get that. I totally get that. But as someone who's been a loyal customer to them for 15 plus years and buying merchandise when I want to, and not just for me, I buy stuff for my kids, for Stacy and Alyssa, my dad, for us. I'm not just buying for Aaron to put on his head and wear. I'm buying in quantity for the rest of the family to share. So yeah. I would love feedback from somebody from Fanatics. Call me, write me, respond to me, and let me know just what the hell's going on, and get me that flipping email that you all say you sent me back in July of last year. Of course, I've combed my emails, and since I delete my baskets, my trash bins and all that other stuff, I don't have any emails like that anymore. So yeah, it's very frustrating.
Funny you mentioned that, because I just went through a couple of days ago and didn't realize how many emails I had that I had already read that I hadn't even put in the trash yet, and it was over 5,500.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
I'm going, what the?
Between all the crap that we get,
yeah,
and generally whatever email goes into the spam or this, I just delete them. I don't even look at them. I just hit delete all, boom, flag it, it's done. The titles of these emails are so important, because if it is relevant to something I need to know, it's like a headline in a news article. That headline in that reference box better catch my attention and tell me that this is something I need to read and be aware of.
However, when I get one that in the subject line says, please don't delete, that's the first one that goes.
Oh, and here's another one, folks. Please spell check your emails. Please spell check your websites. Okay, if I learned this from Ricky, may rest in peace. He'll scan a website. If he finds spelling errors on the website, he wouldn't go any further. He would just delete the website, delete the email.
Yeah,
I forgot what site I was reading yesterday. I was on. I'm reading the information and looked good, and I'm into it. And all of a sudden, I just came across a couple of words where it's misspelled, and I'm thinking, oh my God, how do you? So if I go on a website and I see misspellings, I'm done. I leave, because I question, presentation. I question fail safes. I question legitimacy, all of that stuff, because anybody, and look, I'm guilty of it. I put posts out there with errors in spelling, and fortunately people catch it. They notify me. I go in and I fix it, but you got to be professional and catch my attention, and stuff like that just bugs the crap out of me. All right.
Now, the first ones that I read in the subject line, if it says something like, "Hey, asshole," then I know it's from somebody that knows me.
Right. I was just going to say, then it's from someone who loves you. All right. Let's step aside for our last break. Let's give another quick shout out to Sweet Peas Bakehouse and Novelty Sports. Those are our advertisers today. You'll hear their message. We'll come back, wrap up, and get out of here for a Saturday. Thank you for watching Aaron Zone. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Rick Upchurch, former Denver Bronco Ring of Famer. In life, there are rivalries, and then there are football rivalries. Broncos, Raiders, Packers, Vikings, Washington, Dallas. But what happens when those sports rivalries invade a household? You know the scenario. Grandma loves Ohio State, but Grandpa loves Michigan. Novelty Sports Art has the type of artwork that simply adds fuel to the fire. The drip helmets depicted those hated rivalries with a splash of humor and color. These original artwork prints can be hung in the man cave, she shed, or the centerpiece at the next family reunion. Visit www.noveltysportsart.com and order from our listed inventory. You can also call 804-505-5669 for ordering details. A great sports rivalry should be honored as a novelty.
Hi, my name is Edgar Alejandro. I'm the co-founder of Rising Again Productions. So we've been here in Vegas producing films for the past couple of years, and we've seen our fair share of studios. We've worked in our fair share of studios, and to be honest, WWDBTV has been our favorite by far. John is so welcoming. The space is wonderful. It's perfect for what we need. We've had rehearsals here. We've had callbacks here. We've had table reads here. So if you're a Vegas creative, or really just a creative coming into Vegas, definitely check out this space. Chat with John. I think you'll find that this studio has everything that you'll need as well.
Switching to a vegan dessert doesn't mean sacrificing flavor or texture. At Sweet Peas Bakehouse, our pastries are designed to be just as delightful as their traditional counterparts. Sweet Peas Bakehouse features rich flavors and satisfying textures that will please any palate. From decadent brownies to light and fluffy cakes, each bite is a celebration of natural sweetness, free from artificial additives. Indulgent treats that not only taste great, but also nourish the body by visiting www.sweetpeaswithazbakehouse.com. Experience the difference that nature-inspired baking can make at Sweet Peas Bakehouse. Call 804-214-7773 today and taste the goodness.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Coming around the clubhouse turn. A few more news and items to talk about here. But before I forget, first of all, let me wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Please enjoy your time with your family. Be safe. Watch out for that tryptophan. Next week, I am going to do a show next week over Thanksgiving weekend. I found an author, went to a craft fair a couple of weeks ago. This young lady's name is Chelsea Kellum. She wrote a book. Let's see if I can get it in there without the glare and without it disappearing. It's called Find Me Wherever You Go. This is a book dedicated to her brother Chad, who passed away. Find Me Wherever You Go is an interactive and uplifting storyteller for children dealing with grief and loss. Follow along as two siblings embark on adventures together while a meaningful symbol, in this case it's a cardinal because her brother loved cardinals, follows them every step of the way. The cardinal is hidden within each scene and invites families to capture the overall message of eternal connection. So her name, as I said, is Chelsea Kellum, K-E-L-L-E-M. You can check her out on Instagram, Chad's Legacy. So she will be on with me. It can be it's in paperback, hardcover. She also sells stuffed crocheted cardinals as well. So she'll be on with me next week to talk about her book and all of that stuff. Great young lady. Had a chance to meet her and her husband a couple of weeks ago. So Aaron's Hour will be on the air next week in some form or another. All right. Some other news and notes before we get out of Dodge here. By the way, locally, congratulations. A Chesapeake native named 2025 Rhodes Scholar. That's pretty impressive. And we're not just talking about because he studied maps here. Not that kind of Rhodes Scholar. Chesapeake student and fourth-year grad student at the University of Virginia was named a Rhodes Scholar. Samuel Crow took a visit to the White House with other finalists, which there were 14 of them, when he heard his name called, and he was totally shocked. He said, quote, "Honestly, I was in shock," Crow said. "I mean, I don't think I really fully understand what had happened. I just sort of froze. I was sitting down. I was frozen in my chair, and like instinctively, I just stood up, walked over, and started shaking their hands." What this is going to do is it'll fund his doctorate in astrophysics at the University of Oxford in the UK. Long-term, Crow would like to work in science policy, better understanding the relationship between science and society. So congratulations to them. John.
For those of us who are undereducated, what is a Rhodes Scholar?
Well, I believe that's the name. It's Rhodes is named after, I already threw the paper on the floor, so I'm not bending down, but was an individual who actually attended Oxford University. And so this scholarship is named after this individual, that it's a very prestigious, like once in a lifetime, like you've got to be creme de la creme. And obviously 1 out of 14, in most circumstances, 1 out of 14 are pretty good odds to win something. Yeah. But when it comes to something like this, where you get a year's education out there and it saves you money and allows him to basically further his education by saving, I think I saw in the story, about $250,000 worth of educational fees that he would be normally spending to complete his education. That's the value of something like that. So, all right, back to Vegas. Let's go to Vegas here. Hey, next week, here's a great way to start off the new year or be thankful for something. Las Vegas Job Fair is to offer hundreds of employment opportunities at the Palms Resort Tuesday the 26th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And again, those times are Pacific time. Hundreds of job opportunities. Attendees are encouraged to dress professionally, bring multiple copies of your resume because they'll interview you right there on the spot. It's kind of, I used to go to these, John, and I'm sure you did in the past life too. These things are like speed dating. That's kind of what it's like, you know.
They can actually be fun.
They can be, yes. And if you have the right personality for this, absolutely. Some of the employers will include, yes, the Palms Casino Resort, Wolfgang Puck, Nevada Health Link. Here's one that's true, near and dear to my heart, the Grandview Las Vegas, wink, wink. Crescent Schools of Gaming and Bartending, West Care, Las Vegas Professional Institute of Tech, etc. Even Las Vegas Metro will be out there. If you'd like more information, go to Jobbertising, Jobertising, jobbertising.com/career fair -Las Vegas plus, screw it, just go to jobbertising.com. That's next Tuesday at the Palms. All right, let's come back to Virginia for a moment. The Nauticus offers hands-on activities on sailing, welding, and port jobs. What's the Nauticus? Well, the Nauticus is a museum that is hunkered right next to the USS Wisconsin ship that is docked right there on the water side. It is beautiful. I've been there during the wintertime. They decorate the boat in the holiday lights, and you take a tour on the boat, and then you go through the museum. Well, the Nauticus recently went through a $22 million transformation that included now 5 new activity areas, including the very interactive design, build, sail galleries, gives visitors a chance to learn about hydrodynamics, aerodynamics, and buoyancy. You walk right in. It's now part of a 25,000 square foot educational space with the new galleries. Of course, as I mentioned, life-size Harbor 20 sailboat allows visitors to pull sails in and out to see how to work with the wind's power. Be a Sail exhibit gives the feeling of being on a sailboat where the wind is the power. The gallery's huge window overlooks the Sail Nauticus program sailboats. The gallery Our Port explains a major cornerstone of the Hampton Roads economy. Admission to the Nauticus includes a self-guided tour of the USS Wisconsin, which, as I said, is docked next door. Prior to boarding the ship, visitors can view it through a panoramic window. Just check it out. Nauticus, nauticus.org for more information. This really should be a destination location. If you're going to come into this area for the holidays, folks, please go down there. It's right downtown. It is beautiful. Matter of fact, I'll be down in that area tonight. My wife and I were catching up with our daughter, her boyfriend, and the folks at Tidewater Community College, because tonight is the annual Grand Illuminations Parade starting at 7 p.m. It's going to be cold. It's going to be busy. It's going to be jam-packed, and but it'll be a lot of fun, or at least that's what I'm hoping. If I don't freeze. Anyway, hey, you know, there's pickleball. Pickleball's grown all over the place. Well, back there in Vegas, did you know that Sunset Park is in the process of refurbishing some of the older basketball courts into 4 brand new pickleball courts out there at Sunset?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so construction on this is going to begin next year and is expected to wrap up in 2026. Also, the remaining basketball courts that they're going to keep are also going to be redone, revamped, repaved, and freshened up. Now, Paradise Park, I'm not sure where that is in out there. I've never heard of Paradise Park. And
over on Jones, let's see.
Is that like Jones and Charleston?
Yeah, kind of like between Charleston and Trop area. That's okay. Paradise. That's Paradise, Nevada.
Gotcha. Well, over there, Clark County says a brand new dog park is being designed. 2 existing tennis courts will also be converted to pickleball courts.
Wow.
Staying in Las Vegas, so one last piece of information. This should be no surprise to anybody, but the Sphere, which is been open a year now, right, John? A little over a year?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, according to an article that came out on the 14th of November, the Sphere reports a $125 million quarterly loss. Anybody surprised? Okay, I'll just leave it at that. You can go to the RJ to find more details on that. Last but not least, there's a show that is sponsored out here by a musician by the name of Pharrell Williams. He's a resident of Virginia. His roots are out here. Well, back in early October, he was going to put on a show called Something in the Water because it was going to hype up a new movie that he's part of. It's going to cover like 10, 15 blocks of the ocean front down in Virginia Beach. concerts, music, vendors. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people that would rival New Year's Eve at Fremont Street in terms of quantity of people. Well, last minute, literally last minute, after people started buying tickets, it was announced that the show was canceled because some things logistically were not in place yet. Well, this became a bone of contention between Pharrell Williams and the Something in the Water Festival folks and the city, where the city put demands with timelines and things to be done. And the mayor came up, and I'm going to paraphrase, that if by this past Friday there was not a signed contract for the reschedule of Something in the Water, it was done, it was finished, and the city would pivot to a new event come spring. Well, happy to say that the Something in the Water Festival will return to the oceanfront on April 26th and 27th of next year, with certain stipulations from the city as outlined in the sponsorship agreement, which I didn't pull off. But here's some of the things that are in this. The signed agreement outlines the event location, which is going to be 2nd Street in the Virginia Beach Pier at 1415 Atlantic Avenue. So that's all the way at the tip on the far south end, okay? And then it's going to work its way up some 20 blocks up along Ocean View. Now, Virginia Beach officials have agreed to pay $500,000 advance to the promoters in 3 intervals. $100,000 when the contract is executed, $200,000 when the artist lineup is announced on or before December 31st, and the final $200,000 when organizers apply for the special event permit. The city also agreed to provide the promoters the use of various resort stages, designated public parking areas, as well as rideshare services, the use of school buses, and the use of parts of the convention center. Now, Something in the Water will be responsible for providing the artist lineup and commence ticket sales by December 31st, securing all necessary entertainment permits, including the special event permit, hiring third-party security and EMS services, providing attendance and ticket sales information for the city to determine the amount payable from their allotted financial sponsorship amount. The contract also reveals that the Something in the Water organizers intent to have the festival in 26 and 27 under similar guidelines, but city officials state, should organizers decide not to produce those events, it shall not constitute a breach of contract. So the contract in theory is only for next year, but if they, even though the intent also includes for the following 2, if they don't do it, they're not in breach of contract. However, should promoters breach a material provision of the agreement, the city will provide written notice via email. The promoters will then have 5 days from notice to remedy the situation. If they cannot cure the default, the city may immediately cancel and terminate this agreement, and the promoters must return the $500,000 advance within 10 days of the termination notice. For now, it's unclear just how much the tickets are going to go on sale. But before it was postponed previously in September, general admission tickets were going to cost about $180, and VIP tickets were going to cost about $450. And the festival will go on rain or shine. Truly, if it rains, giving it Something in the Water. So this event has been a big bone of contention for months now, at least for right now. Things are signed and sealed for April of next year, towards the end of the month, to actually happen. Hopefully it will. I don't like the prices. I think it's going to price out a lot of folks. Again, I'm not paying. I don't know Pharrell Williams enough to know if $180 is worth it. As a VIP package, they better bring showgirls who are going to feed me grapes in my mouth for $450. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, before we go, John, I didn't get a whole lot of response that I'm seeing in the chat room. Give me one odd Thanksgiving tradition that you and your family observe, or that you've done that is part of your Thanksgiving celebrations.
I have to think about that one, because I usually tell people I'm going to be out of town for Thanksgiving.
When you're usually at home?
Yeah.
So that's your odd tradition.
That's my odd tradition, yeah.
Of course, you had an hour to think about it, since I told you I put it up.
I know, yeah. I figured you'd hit me up with something, and I'm thinking, when
is it coming?
Yeah.
All right. All right, listen, everybody. Today, Penn State takes on Minnesota. In Minnesota, I hope they win. Thanksgiving games, 3 games this Thursday, and then there's actually a Friday game, which should be pretty darn good. Baltimore Ravens taking on the Chargers, brother versus brother. The Harbaughs go at it again since the Super Bowl a few years ago. A lot of stuff going on. Listen, folks, this is a time when everybody's a little extra stressed. There's a lot of people out there that are in need of a lot of things. Just smile to somebody. Ask them how they're doing. Give them a wink. Let them know that they're noticed in this world, because that little difference can make a big world of difference for somebody in their lifetime. All right, with that, I'm checking out. Listen, everybody, be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. John, have a great week. We'll see you next week right here on Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, coast to coast. Thank you for watching.